Bro, my name is Vince Russo, and I am a big fan of the worldwide interweb, bro. That's right, bro. I love YouTube, and bro, I am always looking for the next big thing, the next big show, the next big personality, and I think I found it, bro. On YouTube, Casey is Raw, bro. Casey is an avid, bro, video game collector. Loves playing retro games, bro, just like me. As a matter of fact, bro, the only game I've ever beat, bro, is Rygar, bro. Rygar on the original Nintendo system. But, bro, let me tell you, Casey even has a podcast, bro. A podcast where he talks wrestling, and it's called Saturday is Raw. Also, bro, Casey goes video game hunting, and he takes you along, man. Check it out. YouTube, Casey is Raw. Podcast, Saturday is Raw. Bro, check out Casey.
What up, guys? My name's Casey is Raw. I got Filthy Mouth Gamer on my channel today, this morning. This is Saturday morning is Filthy and Raw, and this is the first time my channel is on my channel on Facebook. God damn it! So, what's up, Filthy? How's it going, dude?
I like that opening. And if you're old enough, you understand where it comes from. The old HBO opening.
Oh yeah, my best friend did that, and I loved it. But I did have to slightly put music behind.
I saw that. I noticed that
because it was copyright music, so I had to slightly put something in there. But
I think a rapper should take that beat and make it into a hip hop song.
You know, I would love you. You remember back during that whole thing. That was just a small part of it. It goes back where it was kind of like Beetlejuice, where they had the model. It was like it was going through this neighborhood before it goes into the mountains and then goes into the sky.
Right. Yeah, wasn't there a whole like making of? They did a whole making of that. Because I remember that is what you just said is the extended version of that. I know what you're talking about. It's like flying through the trees. There's cars going by. Yeah, but there was one point they showed the making of that, like how they put together the whole town and all that stuff, and how they did all that. So I remember it very fondly. That time of HBO. You know, I can never find. I don't know if you remember. Between movies, they used to have something called brain games, right? And it would be just these goofy like brain games, like really quick, like 30 seconds, a minute, let's say. But and then they would show you the solution, and then you'd hear the voice go, "Brain games is now over." And I can't find any. Like on YouTube, I cannot find, like if I put brain games in, some other new show comes up.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I don't, so I can't find any of those. That's like right around the time Fraggle Rock was on.
Oh my God, Fraggle Rock. Oh my God. I mean, I know I grew up on that, but like it was like that was something like I used to watch, but that was like just before I can start having memories. But I grew up watching like He-Man. He-Man's was my shit. And then
did you see the new He-Man? Like the new guy, the guy's gonna play him in the movie?
No.
Ugh.
Don't tell me it's gonna be a woman.
No. Well, it might as well be, because this dude well, they show you it's kind of like a silhouette, right? So it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Let me see if I can find it right here. I saw it and I was like, oh, I said, oh no, where? Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if you can see this. It's just a silhouette of him with his back turned.
What
It's the smallest He-Man I've ever seen.
Like, hey, at least he got the right sword.
Yeah, that's fine, but they're gonna make She-Ra tougher than him. You watch. They're gonna make She-Ra awesome, and He-Man's a piece of garbage because that's what they do. That's what they do now, right? We pretend that women are the best. They can do everything. They can do everything better than men. They're smarter than men. They can do everything so much better instead of just like again. Did you have a problem with She-Ra when you were a kid? No, she didn't come in and say, "I'm He-Man." He's a piece of shit. It's kind of like the attitude of remember when The Rock became big and he was in the Nation of Domination, and there was that when he had the belt, and that was that famous promo when he's looking at him, he's like, "I'm the champ." It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like that. That's like the attitude now. Like He-Man, yeah, he's only the reason that everybody watches the show, but like let's make him a piece of garbage. You know what I mean?
Wasn't the guy who I forgot what his name is, but I know he plays Drago.
Yeah, he played in the Masters Universe movie. You talk about Dolph Lundgren.
Yes.
Yeah, he played He-Man, and I don't even know if I saw that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I remember seeing it in Blockbuster Video, like to rent. I think Frank Langella played Skeletor.
I don't know.
I think, but because I knew it was going to be not good. You know, it's like the 80s. How are you going to do that correctly? You're not.
No, I mean, they did a shit job for the Mario Bros. And that was in the 90s.
Right. It's just, you just certain things you just can't do. Right. But again, like most every other thing, I loved He-Man, but I was way more fascinated with the villains. Way more fascinated. Like, listen, I loved Battle Cat, right? But Panther was way cooler looking. Like Skeletor's cat was sick.
I honestly, for now I'm more of a Thundercats, and I'm talking about the original Thundercats, not this.
That garbage, that's nonsense. Yeah, that doesn't even exist to me. Stop it. That's like the Kevin Smith He-Man. Did you see that?
No.
They killed off He-Man. He's like, I'm gonna make a He-Man show, like animated, and it's gonna be a continuation of the original show. It's like, oh shit! He kills off He-Man, and I didn't even watch it because I heard it already. He kills off He-Man right away and makes the show about She-Ra, and people are like, yo. What's the deal? And they were attacking him. And I think he said something like, I have a daughter. Yeah, I don't give a shit about your daughter. I don't give a shit about your daughter. Like, if you're going to take this property, you need to respect it. It's like what they did with Star Wars. You had some idiot come in that didn't care about Han Solo and Chewbacca and all that, and they just ruined it. Stop it.
I want to show you something real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring this up without God dang. All right. Went to the site. You remember the first episode of Thundercats where they're coming on that spaceship?
Yes. It's actually you're like, whoa, this is because I remember I saw it. I don't remember seeing it as a kid, but I saw it as an adult, and I was like, whoa, this is like a deep Thundercats episode. It was like way different than any other episode.
Well, they show up in their spaceship and they're all nude.
Right.
Like what the fuck? And I don't honestly, they don't have no genitalias at all. I mean, they're just, if they're going to be like, it's weird, but
they made them look like action figures. They even put like the lines between the thigh and the crotch area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird, but I remember that. But when they landed on the that planet, that's when they get clothes. Like for the first episode, they're like naked.
Right, but listen, like everybody looked at Panthro as a black dude. I mean, you looked at him as a black dude.
Yeah.
Like he had so he would have the biggest dick anyway. Like he's just gonna have the biggest dick. Like even though Lion-O should have the biggest dick, they would give the biggest dick to Panthro, 100%.
Like, don't tell me that doesn't look sexual. I'm like, even but
dude, can I tell you something?
yeah.
If I hear the Thundercats theme right now, it'll give me goosebumps.
Oh,
I'm serious. A 47-year-old man will get goosebumps from the Thundercats theme song.
Oh, that's when they start getting clothes. You see, you're like,
Yeah.
No, I love that. I'm like, we don't.
Do you think Chitara can take that whole staff somewhere?
Oh yeah, definitely.
She takes the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. But I remember that, so I thought that'd be funny to bring that up. But let's say hi to some people in chat. We got a couple people who got it's the Constanza says you're tardy, sir.
What were we supposed to be? I don't remember. I mean, was it supposed to be a certain time?
I said it about we were a minute late. So
oh, okay. I didn't even. All right. Oh, so all right, Costanza, why don't you go blow yourself?
and then we got Randy Viper says he loves me, and then he got Devious Dave Rose.
What's up, Dave?
So yeah, that was funny. I'm like, gosh, like we were talking for a good half hour before we went live.
Yeah.
Like, I think I lost. Are you there?
Me? I'm here.
Oh, it stuttered for a second, but it's probably StreamYard. But actually, today was one of the days that the whole Benoit tragedy has happened.
So this is an anniversary?
Yeah, 18 years ago. It was back in 2007.
Well, I mean, listen, we should throw a party, a celebration, because everybody knows that what has to be done had to be done. You know what I mean? His wife would never shut up. Those kids would never go to bed on time. So you got to do what you got to fucking do. No, I'm like, I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. I was just thinking of him yesterday. It's so funny you say this and this is randomly. I didn't even know it was going to be his whole crippler crossface move.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and dude, he was jacked, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I didn't really watch him a lot when he was in WWF, or I call it WWF, and that's just what it's going to be called. I don't care what you say.
He did come in the WWF though.
No, he was technically he was, but it's so funny because I stopped watching it right around that time, and I didn't think about, I'm not going to watch this anymore because I just happened to just go away. I don't remember why it went away. Maybe it wasn't exciting anymore because the Monday Night Wars weren't happening anymore, and it was kind of like, this is kind of, there's no stakes. Because it was funny because when the Monday Night Wars was going on, Ken was leaning towards WCW.
Oh, really?
Right. Well, because it was, they had all the classic wrestlers, right? Hogan, Macho Man, it's Razor Ramon, right? It's Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, Diesel. These are all the guys that you grew up with as a kid, right? So I understood that, right? And the NWO was cool. They made them villains, whatever. For whatever reason, like I wouldn't go against. I always looked at WCW as, okay, they have all these guys, but it's still kind of cheesy still. It's still kind of, even though WWF had
real bad.
Like around your In Your House era, like it was just like people, they would, in your house, it looked like the size of someone's house. That's all it was. It was like 10 people in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, so they had their bad situations with with even though it's so funny. Like even around that time,
Mhm.
WWF still had an arcade game, right? They was still, they still were on the map, but coming out of WrestleMania 3 and that era, they were just garbage. But even though they were garbage and there wasn't a lot of people going to the shows anymore, I always feel like the production value still was better
Oh yeah.
than WCW, right?
Oh,
Even though
I
WCW
agree.
technically had the better product, right? They had the better wrestlers, even though, listen, loved Undertaker, fantastic.
Mhm.
Loved the original version, right? With the gray gloves and all
Yeah.
that shit. Bret Hart, you gotta love Bret Hart. You got Yokozuna, like, they were all good, but it just didn't have the heat. It didn't have, and everybody knows once Stone Cold started taking off, then everything changed.
Oh, I agree. I I started a little later than most people. Like as of our age, like I'm 43.
Right.
So I started like around the Attitude Era. Like
Okay.
like like 97
Okay.
because I could have started earlier, but my dad, he was like one of those people like, "Oh, I don't watch that fake shit." So, but here's the thing. On Monday nights, like when I'm flipping through the channel, and at this time, I literally had to go up to the box and flip.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
And you had Raw on one channel, and literally the next channel was TNT. It was Nitro. So,
Right.
so I don't get in trouble, but because I was like, oh, I see wrestling, skip it immediately. Then one day I was like, fuck it. I was hearing about Stone Cold
What
and
was Raw
everything.
on again? What channel? Was it USA?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that was
The USA
USA.
Network.
God, and USA is not even the same thing no more. Like
Does it
it used
exist
to.
still? I didn't even know it existed anymore.
No, it still exists. It's just
Really?
it. Yeah, the only thing they have is now they have SmackDown, but the problem is that it's not like they were producing anything else. Like they would have a bunch of reruns of Law and Order. I mean, and other stuff like that. Like it's kind of like how uh, TNT and TBS, they're known for their reruns of old shows and movies. Like they became that now.
Right. What's funny because USA Network before Raw was even I would watch cartoons on USA Network. A lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoons were on USA
Oh,
Network.
really?
Yeah, there was a Dragon's Lair cartoon that
Huh.
used to come on New USA Network, and I never like, as a kid, you're not in the TV guide looking at the schedule of what's coming on. So really, I was
Mm,
just like Saturday morning cartoons. Like I would just show up. Like I didn't even know, oh, this is on this time, this is on that time. I just try to catch things that I'd want
yeah.
because I was a little dumb idiot where they can tell you when it's on, dummy. But like every once in a while, I would catch a Dragon's Lair cartoon, and obviously Dragon's Lair. I'm obsessed with Dragon's Lair. At the time, it was huge. It was one of my favorite arcade games, and they kind of did it like Dirk would get in the situation, and then before they went to commercial, like what should Dirk do? Should he do this or should he do that? So they made it kind of like a choose your own adventure. And then when they came back from commercial, they would show, oh, whatever you choose. If you chose this would happen, and if you chose this, that would. It was really fun. It was a fun, yeah. It was a really cool thing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I had to see if that's on YouTube or something.
Oh, it's 100%, 100%.
I
Now
gotta
you can
check
see
that.
whatever you want now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't
Captain
know.
N, the Game Master.
Oh, I love that.
Captain N, the Game Master was
That
like
was awesome.
my shit.
Yes.
Like if I missed it, I was in a bad
Mm.
mood for the rest of the week. That was my shit.
I
Right.
love
And it was
how.
kind of goofy. Now
Mm.
looking back, I'm kind of pissed off how they treated Simon Belmont. They made him like a douchebag.
Oh yeah.
But whatever.
And not only that, they gave Mega Man the wrong color schemes too.
Right. Well,
Oh,
did they even have the rights to any of that? Like, I don't even know how that worked. Like, because Because
I
Mega Man was
assume so.
Capcom, right? Mega
Yeah.
Man's it's Capcom. Simon Belmont's Konami,
Yeah.
and Kid Icarus is Nintendo,
I
right?
assume that they got the green light.
What is it called? Mother Brain is Nintendo. The
Yeah.
Eggplant Wizard's Nintendo.
Yeah.
King Hippo's Nintendo. So it was all. It's all. And the other thing was Kid Icarus. Like he would always say, "This is ridiculous." Like he would put Icarus at the end of every. It's like shut up, just shut up. Even though I love Kid Icarus, the game is an
Yeah.
underrated game. It's very hard, but it's an underrated game.
Oh, I can't even get past the first level at all.
Yeah, it's once you get past it and then you get to the next thing where it starts side scrolling,
Yeah.
and then you don't even realize that it has like 3 like dungeons. Like almost like Zelda like, but not Zelda is like top down, but like
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Like I could never get past the first level. It's one. See, that's the one thing, and I know I'll have people like Devious Dave Rose, even though he supports me, he will say, both him and Bam kind of bash me because I'm well known for playing like shit on my channel.
What do you mean? Like what you don't do good?
Oh yeah, I do horrible, but it's a lot
But,
of
but
times
what do you play? Like what, for example, give me an example. Like what do you play that you do horrible on?
anything. Like,
What do you
especially
mean?
especially like if I play something I never played before, like, and I'll just like one day it's like, hey, on the play, like, you know what? I got a perfect
Yeah.
example. Brought this up because I have Dave wanted me to do this gameplay. I tried, but I couldn't do it
Well, what
because I
was it?
couldn't. Well, it's the Transformer game for the Nintendo Famicom.
Oh, the original?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played that game.
Uh,
I thought
it,
you were going to say that it was that Transformers game that came out years ago. I think it might have been
no.
because that game was awesome. That
Oh
looked like
yeah,
a
that.
cartoon. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. That is awesome.
Yeah.
But no, this is you play as Ultra Magnus in this game. You don't even play as
What, Optimus?
yeah, Optimus
Yeah.
Prime, but you play as Ultra Magnus. But I got less than a 2-minute clip to show real quick.
Okay, let me see.
All right, so let's go ahead and play the Transformer game that's on the Famicom. And I'm not pronouncing that. That screams Transformers, right? With that music. I hadn't touched anything. That's Ultra Magnus. No sound? On before the moving
Wait,
on.
was that what you playing?
No, that was the demo.
Oh, I was going to say because it was like, what the hell is that?
No, that's the demo. That's why I stopped real quick. Even though the demo, he's just running through. So I took that suggestion and I thought, hey, maybe I can get past this fucking level just running through. But
Oh, so you fell for that?
Yeah. So let me bring it back up.
All
right, so let's go ahead and play the Transformer game that's on the Famicom. And I'm not pronouncing that. That screams Transformers, right? With that music. I hadn't touched anything. That's Ultra Magnus. No sound? Alright. I cannot promise. I cannot promise I'll do any good. I'm gonna use that strategy, just run for it. Yeah, you know what? They ain't gonna work. Nope.
By the way, that game looks like it stinks.
I agree. By the way, you can transform, but it's a disadvantage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because I mean, I think you could shoot a little bit, but I'm like, I think you actually shoot up if you transform. But I'm like, if you watch the Angry Video Game Nerd, he did that gameplay.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and he was able to beat the game. But here's how lazy the people who made this game, that they took the Decepticon logo as a boss. Yes.
What?
Yes. And not only that, they did a color palette 3 times, and they used the same boss as that. You know that's lazy when you it's obviously, you know, it's probably someone who probably never watched the show. They're not like, oh, like there's Megatron and then Starscream. Like, putting the thing about that, and the ones that builds all together. Can't even think of that. Like, God forbid you use those enemies. You have to use the Decepticon logo as a boss.
Horrible. Absolutely
yeah.
horrible.
Like, but sadly, you know, dude, that would have been cool to have a Transformer game. Obviously not that.
Right.
But oh my gosh. I mean,
like what if you played Ghouls and Ghosts?
oh my god.
What, you would be terrible?
Oh yeah. I can't get past the first. I mean, I might be
No, that can't be. The first level?
Yes, the first level.
Come on, Casey.
Uh,
what do you mean? Why not?
It's hard.
No, but hold on a second. I don't expect you to pass the first level in your first run of the first level, right? But it's kind of like you figure out the patterns.
Yeah. But see, the system I was using, that gameplay was called the Retro Freak.
Right.
And it has a bunch of game consoles you can play. Like, you can play the Famicom, the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, Genesis, and if TurboGrafx and PC Engine games, and the Game Boy game series.
I want Casey to play the Famicom version of Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. It's probably not even called that in Japan. It's probably called something else. But Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, Famicom version, Japanese, because it has a better soundtrack. Even though the soundtrack is fantastic, even on the regular NES.
I might have that on the Famicom.
That's a hard game, but can I tell you something?
Yeah.
It's, in my opinion, top 5 NES game of all time.
I know I got it on the NES.
Right.
But right now, I got 2 versions of the Famicom. I got the Famicom, the normal one with the disc system, and I got the Sharp Twin that has the disc system included. But I use that one. But right now, I guess the belt drive on it. Like if you don't play it that often, something happens.
Really?
Because because I wanted to do some
Dude, who made
gameplay.
this fucking thing? The Keebler Elves? Like, what are you what are you talking about?
Dude, it's like Nintendo made the the belt drive in the disc system like like with crap. It's like a piece of plastic, like a plastic rubber band. Not even rubber band. It's like a plastic rubber band. So it would stretch out and just or break. So like it doesn't work great.
Well, the
But
Famicom had an extra audio chip that the NES
yeah.
did not have, right? Which doesn't
Mhm.
make sense because the Famicom came out before the NES, so you'd figure like the NES would be a little bit more advanced. But no, the Japs, they still had to hold a grudge for dropping 2 atomic bombs on them, and they said, "Fuck these round eyes. They're not getting the fucking better music. They're getting not only are they not getting the better music, but they're getting the harder versions of the fucking game." Right? You're getting all the
Mhm.
games that were on the United States versions were
Mhm.
way harder than the
Oh,
Japanese versions.
I'm wondering if I take my NES version
Yeah.
and run it through the adapter into my Retro Freak, maybe it would do that
I don't know,
because
but if you looked, I'm telling you, if you look up on YouTube, the
mm,
difference between the music on the NES or the Famicom
mm,
on Castlevania 3, it's like, oh my god, it's like it just adds like 1 or 2 extra sounds, but it changes everything. And can I tell you something? The soundtrack of the NES Castlevania 3 is legendary. And then when I heard that version, I was like, "Holy shit!" It's like
not
what?
only that, not only that, if you listen to The Legend of Zelda on the Famicom, it sounds way better, even though it's iconic on the NES,
Right.
but it sounds better on the Famicom.
Well, they had that extra audio chip,
Yeah.
right? That's it's we. I don't know if you did this as a kid, but we used to say as kids, like, "Oh, like if something didn't come out yet, we were like, oh, but the people in California have it, even though no, they don't. Shut you, because our logic as kids was like California's closer to Japan, and
Yeah.
somehow we were acting as if like they delivering video games on the fucking Mayflower, and then it would just get to California first, and then it would make its way across the country. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, no,
Mhm.
the whole country gets the same shit.
Well, yeah, but I know some people, like, if you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, some people would get like import games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember seeing an imported version of both Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link and Super Mario Brothers 2. And
Mm,
I remember this was 1987, right? 86,
mm.
87. I remember this is 198 so this is 1986 money. They wanted $150 for them. $150 for those
Holy
games.
shit!
And I'll never forget. It's sitting up on top. I'm like, oh my god, Super Mario Brothers 2. I'm like, who, what? You know what I mean? Like, I was like,
Oh, dude, I like.
and
See, we didn't have.
they would have sold it. See, this is the pieces of shit they are. They would have sold it to me and not told me that I can't even play it on the Nintendo I have, right?
Yeah,
Because they're pieces of shit. That's it. Let me tell you something. People have always been pieces of shit. They're kind of more. There's more of a quantity of pieces of shit now, but they
mm.
were quality pieces of shit even back then. Yeah.
Well, for here in Oklahoma, like nowadays, yeah, we're getting import stuff, but it's not like we're right in the middle. Like we did not get any import shit at all
What are you
until
talking about?
later.
The post office just showed up at your fucking Oklahoma. They just got fucking they got mail delivered. It just came. It's a new thing for you
Yes,
guys over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like next year, we're gonna have running water for our
Yeah.
toilets. Like, I mean, and like I'm just using my cell phone for Wi-Fi right now. So, I mean, that's how I find. But oh gosh, no, like, dude, it was like I never knew. Actually, I heard we got Mario 2. That's when Mario 3 came out in Japan.
Yeah. How's this?
Shit.
What? Go ahead.
We got Inspector Todd.
Inspector Todd.
What's
fucking
up,
putting bananas in people's tailpipes.
But what you were about to say?
Shit, I totally forgot. Inspector Todd fucked me.
We're talking about Mario 3.
Yeah. Oh, I know what. Yeah, I know what it was. So before Super Mario Brothers 3 came out in the United States, there was a clothing store in my local mall, right? That in the back of the store, near like the bathroom.
Ooh.
Do they? Oh, I gotta then I gotta look for it later. I gotta look for it later because I've been looking for that forever.
Oh, he says just search Brain Games 80s.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean I haven't searched it in forever. So there was remember the Play Choice 10?
Yes.
All right. So they had a Play Choice 10 in the back of this clothing store. Random like arcade game. And I go on the Play Choice 10 and it says Super Mario Brothers 3. And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And the Play Choice 10, you had a time limit to play the game.
Yeah.
Like it was like I had 5 minutes, whatever it was. And I'm playing this game and I'm like, dude, this is 100% a real game. I'm like, this game is amazing. so that summer when The Wizard came out in the movies and people saw Super Mario Brothers 3 for the first time, I'm like, yo, it's in the fucking store in this mall. You can play it. Like, what are you? I don't even know where these guys. It was almost like when in Gremlins, when he gets into that, what guy walks into that random Asian store and finds a Mogwai. Like it was something like that. Like nobody even knew that this fucking thing was in this mall somewhere. And meanwhile, I'm playing Super Mario Brothers 3. I'm like, you don't understand. You get a raccoon tail and shit. Bullshit. I said, bullshit. I'll take you to the fucking store. And then, as sure as shit, I'm taking my friends. Like, yo, what is this? I'm like, I don't know, dude. Somebody knows somebody in this fucking store. I don't know.
I mean, was this before The Wizard?
Yes. It was right before The Wizard came out in the movies. So when they showed it off and people are like, oh my God, I never saw it. I'm like, never saw it. I played the fucking game. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was wild. I was like, this is weird. How does this store have this game?
Oh, you know what's funny? It was a couple of weeks ago that it was me, Dave, Tex, and we were just thinking about it. Is that I think it was Dave. We brought up about The Wizard and how I guess I don't know. I guess in the movie, I thought the kid was mentally challenged or retarded, or wherever.
Well, autistic, like autistic almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I thought about it, like, but he's the best video game player of all time.
Well, it's like that Who song. What's that Who song when they're talking about the pinball wizard? Is that Bob O'Reilly? That they say like he's blind. I forget exactly what they say in the song. He's blind, he's deaf, but he plays a mean pinball. Like the guy's a pinball wizard, even though he's retarded. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what that song is about.
Ian Goes Civic says heavily artistic.
Oh, that's what he is. I mean, I haven't seen that movie probably since it came out. So,
and Dave says idiot savant.
Yeah, and boy, did they really just oversell the Power Glove in that movie.
Oh my God,
that Power Glove! I'll never forget that. Next Christmas, I got the Power Glove, and I was I was like, oh my God, I got the Power Glove, and it was a hunk of shit.
Yeah, I could never make that thing work.
And there was the other. Do you remember the other one that was kind of like a laptop? It was called the
yes.
You have it?
Yeah, I got it actually.
U-Force.
Yeah, the U-Force. I got it in the box. The wife, we picked it up at a flea market in Pennsylvania.
So did that work better?
You know what? I never took it out of the box.
Oh, okay. Leave it. Then leave it. Don't fuck with it.
I mean, it's not wrapped. It's not
but still, why fuck with it?
But I have the Power Glove in the box too, but the box is not in the greatest shape. But that thing is
what a hunk of shit that was. And it wasn't even like it it technically wasn't even a glove really, because it had that like mesh that you put your hand in. So the bottom part was like very thin, but the top was all that heavy plastic. So but they made it look like that whole thing was just gonna be like a heavy plastic like gauntlet. You know what I mean? And right away I put that thing. I'm like, oh, even at let's see, I was 11, 12 at the time. I'm like, oh, this thing's a hunk of shit. Right away, I just knew it was going to be a hunk of shit. Meanwhile, this guy's in the movie. He's playing Rad Racer, like he's driving like this. Oh. Yeah, shut up.
You know what? Actually, people, I think if you look, I put the link in the chat. So if Dave wants to join, I put the link in there.
Yeah.
But I was going to bring up the whole thing about Benoit, but let me bring up the wizard. But I was bringing up the point about that is because, I mean, it seems like that all these mentally challenged, autistic people in the movies seem to have some type of superpower, or like that's why I bring up him. And I put just the wizard, and okay, there's the wizard movie. Okay, but it's not only that where you have him as the best video game player of all time, and then you have Rayman who can count cards.
Well, but that's for real. Like autistic people like have like the way the information gets processed is just different, right? There's like some people you could say to them, January 7th, 1557, what day of the week it was. Boom, they'll tell you it's a Wednesday. For whatever reason.
And then you have Forrest Gump. Like, not only, I mean, he was a football player, but I mean, he just happened to get rich because he was able to put his money into Apple, and he's like, oh, fruit company.
Right.
But like, it seems like
I think Forrest Gump, they should make a prequel where you obviously see that his mother was drinking when he was in the womb, and that's what it was. He was born with wet brain.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we got Devious, Dave Rose. What's up, Dave?
Hey guys, fuck yeah, I want to be on the show with you.
What's up, you slut?
Doing great, actually, and it's funny that you guys mentioned Rain Man, because I actually watched one of these videos, like the 10 things you didn't know about the wizard and stuff, literally the other day, probably because we were talking about it the other day with Casey. But they proposed it. The studio proposed they wanted basically a Rain Man movie for kids.
Okay.
Also, apparently, Wikipedia told me that the term idiot savant is offensive and outdated.
Oh, stop.
That's actually a term, and that's what the kid was. But they sort of.
Do you want to hear something ridiculous? So I go to this like boot camp to work out, right?
Nice.
And there's an exercise where it was called prisoners, and what it was is you'd be standing up. You'd put your arms behind your head like this, and then you'd get down on your knees, right? Without moving, and then stand back up, right? They were called prisoners. They changed the name. The corporation changed the name to Surrenders because it's like, shut up.
It's in the same line of changing Boba Fett's ship, Slave One.
It's so funny that you say that, because that's what I said to the owner of the place. I was like, yo, this is like Disney, what they did with Slave One. Yeah, that's so funny you said that, because it's exactly how I felt.
Oh, man, the world we fucking live in. And I mean, it's so Marxist because, language has to be policed because, we can't let people think things.
Well, we before the show started, Casey, what were we talking about? We were saying that they try to infantilize society. We were talking about how you can't say you have to say unalive instead of it's so stupid. Shut up.
Or self-deletion. I'm like, this is we're getting to the point. It's stupid as fuck.
It's
Like,
you know what really what it is that because I just heard that YouTube loosened a lot of their shit, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I heard they loosened a lot of their words that you can't say, and then I just heard this the other day when I was listening to Joe Rogan. They said it happened like that day, but YouTube, just think about the amount of videos that are going through every minute of every day, right? So
yeah.
that lazy way of saying, okay, we don't want to handle people killing themselves because somebody might have said a certain word, so we're just going to use this word and we're just going to filter through it. You can't say this word or you get demonetized, right? That's the lazy way of doing it. I don't even know if you could even hire enough people to actually moderate all the video content that's coming through there. I don't even know if that's possible, right? So that's kind of their lazy way of doing that, right? It's like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. I just have YouTube Red should have been R-rated YouTube. That's what it should have been. It should have been like when you in the movie theater last night. In the movie theater when the trailers are playing and they have coming soon that green screen that says this trailer. The red one, when a red one comes up, I sit up in my seat and like, oh shit, what is this going to be? Right? So let's have that. Like, let's have a Wild West YouTube. Who gives a shit? Whoever wants to advertise on an advertiser. Who doesn't want to advertise, you don't want to advertise. You know how many companies don't care? Advertise. Like Howard Stern for years had people advertise on his show and he would say wild shit. Like he went to Sirius. I remember when Howard Stern first went to Sirius, it was unbelievable the shit that was going on. Like it was wild. People fucking still were buying Sirius. People were still advertising. So stop. It's so stupid.
Meanwhile, I gotta say this, Casey. But meanwhile, they'll ban certain things from YouTube, but they'll allow grooming videos of kids.
God.
They even show full uncut videos of Brazilian waxing on YouTube.
Well, they actually show tits, right?
They show a lot of stuff. As long as you label it educational, you can get.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's just stupid. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you should show porn. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can't. It just doesn't make sense.
Stupid because I remember when Drew had before he had his gaming channel, that he was talking. I think this is about the COVID deal.
Yep.
And he had a debate, and Drew even had the CDC up there where it says this is what they considered was proper, and he was trying to do everything so he didn't get hurt. This video didn't even go public. It was in private, and he got a strike because there was misinformation.
Yep. You know how many videos of mine got hit like that? Years after it.
Yeah, you cannot decide as a society what the one true opinion is. That's ridiculous. Like when people don't realize, especially when it comes to nutrition, right? A primary care doctor or an internist, whatever word you want to use, has the smallest amount of knowledge on nutrition.
Yep.
Like they maybe in 10 years of med school, they spent a day on it. A day. But they're handing out statins. They're handing out all this. Oh, you got high cholesterol? Take this pill. You get it's like, oh, what are you talking about? Meanwhile, you could be talking to a doctor, might be the almost unhealthy piece of garbage that they're existing, but they're telling you have to go. That's why I left my primary care doctor, right? So I had terrible cholesterol, right? I lost a ton of weight, right? I got it all and then my cholesterol was kind of high. He wanted me to put me on statins. I'm like, I don't want to go on statins. So I went to another doctor who was it's the name of the type of, it's a nature path. So he's a doctor, but he tries to solve problems with nutrition and supplements.
Yeah, naturopath.
Right.
I've gone to them.
So he said, listen, your numbers are high, but let's try this. Let's try some niacin and let's try some red yeast rice. I can get them for you. But, the difference is that I have to pay out of pocket for these. The other one, the insurance will cover. All right, I'll try that. I'd rather try that. All my numbers come down. Go to the doctor. "Oh wow, you got your numbers down. How'd you do it?" I said, "Well, I took some niacin," and he said, "Yeah, that usually works." And okay, and what else did you take? Took some red yeast rice. Well, that happens to be the main ingredient in a lot of these statins. And I was like, I feel like saying, well, why don't you tell me that shit? Like, why are you trying to put me on poisonous shit? Right? So then he sends me for a heart calcification test, right? And it basically tests if your arteries, your heart have any hardened, calcified walls, right? The best score you can have is a 0, right? I take the test, I have a 0, right? My cholesterol number, the number now, not the main shit. Like the triglycerides are still low. Well, ticks up over 200 again. He wants to put me on statins again, even though I just showed on a test that he sent me for that my heart is as healthy as anybody's. He still wanted to put me on a statin. And I was like, I'm done because it's not about the health anymore. Like, I don't know if anybody knows this, but statins came out around like 1979, right? At that point, high cholesterol was anything over 300. Statins come out, suddenly overnight, that number gets dropped to 200. So now everybody over 200 gets prescribed the statins. You see how that works?
And I want to say this is that I found it so refreshing that when Robert Kennedy was put onto the administration, that for the first time since probably Reagan, and not even to, and much more than Reagan, is that finally somebody in the administration was talking about health.
Right, exactly. It really is crazy how many poisonous things are in a supermarket.
And why is it that like General Mills and all these other companies, when dictated, okay, you've got to remove artificial ingredients and stuff, they say, yep, we can do it right now. Well, then what fucking took you so long?
Yeah. Not only that, they're selling products in Europe that have none of that shit in it.
Yep.
They have no problem with it over there, right? But over here, it's a problem. Oh, we can't do that here. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. The other thing that's crazy is that, when they came down on the cigarette companies, when they really came down on them in the early 90s, and they started kind of like going away, nobody really asked themselves, well, what happened to the cigarette companies? They're still around, like RJ Reynolds, Philip Morris, all these major companies. What happened to them? Well, what they did was they changed gears. They merged with food companies. So all the fucking things they used to do to get you hooked on cigarettes, now those scientists, instead of getting you hooked on cigarettes, getting you hooked on food. Right? That's what they did. And it wasn't a secret. It's not like they did it on Jekyll Island. It's not like they did it, you know what I mean? It wasn't like the creation of the Federal Reserve. Like, this happened right up, but nobody, the news didn't report on it, right? It wasn't like, oh, just so you know, the people that made cigarettes, now they're making your food. Back to you, John. There wasn't even that. Yeah. They didn't even tell you that shit.
Hold on. Is that why I'm addicted to McDonald's?
100%.
Yes.
100%. Listen.
The additives that they add, and specifically, Filthy's talking about it, is that they're specifically geared. They develop these chemicals specifically geared to cause that addiction.
100%. And not only that, they hire actual scientists, right? Listen, when they make Lay's potato chips, they don't say, you know what? We want to make potato chips. We're just going to take potatoes and we're going to cut them really thin and we're going to fry them and we're going to put salt on them. And now we have potato chips. No. They go into a lab and they test these potato chips, like literally with like, all right, so we want to make it so the crunch of this chip is perfect. We want to make sure that the taste of this chip is perfect. We're down to the littlest thing, right? So they engineer it so it's impossible to just like not eat just a handful, right? And like they with chemicals and everything. And then they have the audacity to come out and then literally in the commercial say, bet you just can't eat one. And it's like, yeah, because you engineered it like that, dickhead. Because that's why. You know what I mean? Like,
Filthy, can you
fucked
tell
up.
me why they have aborted fetal tissue in Pepsi?
In Pepsi?
Yep.
See, I always like Coca-Cola better. That makes sense. But
I
I
agree.
don't know. Like, what does that even do? Like, what's the point of that?
It's for addiction purposes and it's flavoring. It's
I'm
like
addicted to aborted fetal dick. Like, like, you know what I like? But what the hell? Like, no, I didn't know. Like, I had no idea.
but that's one of those things where they publish on page 53 of the newspaper, down in the corner, just a little blurb and stuff, and they're basically revealing that they're doing it, but there's no big deal about it. Let's continue. And then on the same page, there's an ad for Pepsi.
Yeah, no, but not only that, like, you know how many articles I've read. I mean, it's been a while, but because I don't even pay attention to the New York Times and all that shit. But it'll be a whole article of a certain subject, right? You read the whole thing. The headline says like some shit, and then the first couple paragraphs says some shit, and then you get to the last paragraph, and it pretty much says, "Oh, by the way, all the things we just said is totally horseshit." But nobody gets to that paragraph. So what they do is they put it at the end because nobody reads the whole article, right? So they get to take the credit for, we gave you the real information. We just happened to bury it. Like,
they do the same thing with
10,000 words in. Yeah. Oh,
like
crime.
you have to read
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that shit. They don't even report it anymore. Freak reading it. They don't even report it. Like they'll still. How many times have I seen literally pictures of like a mugshot, and the guy's obviously like MS-13, and in his bio it'll say race white.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, are you serious? So what happens is that goes into the numbers as white crime, and meanwhile they're just lying.
Dude, there's straight up black people that are classified as white in some of these mugshots.
Yeah, so they're not fixing the problem, right? But they're just masking it, kind of like pharmaceutical drugs, right? They're not fixing the problem, they're not curing the problem, they're just masking the problem, right? But here's the thing that I always say. These people, these politicians and the NGOs, they're not interested in fixing any problems whatsoever, because once you fix the problems, then who needs the problem solvers anymore? And they know that. So they're always selling you the cure.
Downstream revenue generation.
Yeah. That's what they do. Right? Look at the apparatus that's built in California for homeless people. It gets worse every year.
Big money. And it's federally funded as well.
Yeah. And I don't even know if you guys heard this shit. This is recent. So this charity raised $100 million for the fire disaster in California, right? The charity that's in charge of it is a charity that's based in Pennsylvania. I forget the name of it. You can look this up. It's real easy. This just happened in the last couple of weeks. This charity only uses 30% of the money to go to the actual charity, right? So we're talking $100 million, right? That means $70 million they use for administrative fees. Now, the head of this charity makes like $1 million a year, right? And God knows what else they're spending it on, right? Now, this is where it gets better. So now you have $30 million left. They take the $30 million and they don't send it like you're like, all right, you got $30 million. Do you think they send it to homeowners or whatever? No. They send it to nonprofits in California. And the nonprofits in California, they have their own statistics. They have their own costs. And by the time they get done with that 30 million, there's nothing left. So $100 million was donated to help people that their fucking lives burnt to the ground. And these pieces of garbage just took this money that people donated and like, I'll put it in my pocket. Like to me, you should be dragged into the fucking street with that. You know what I mean? Like that's why when we were talking before, Casey, about the CEO of United Healthcare got killed, I'm like, I used to, before that even happened, I said, I don't know that guy. I don't know what he did. I just know the business of healthcare is to fucking not pay you what you paid it. That I know, right? So I don't even know. But all I know is I wouldn't be surprised if he was a piece of garbage, right? I just wouldn't be surprised because this is what this has happened.
Mhm.
We've all have what's the word? We've been enablers to this shit. We've just dealt with, we just have, yeah, you keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Yeah. Keep doing it. See what Zelensky said yesterday on Twitter? Zelensky comes out and says, oh, by the way, the G7 companies, you have to give us $40 billion a year if we want to, keep Ukraine alive. Oh, really? Oh, really? Do I? Do I have to do that? I don't think I have to do that. Sorry.
And the gall that he said that American soldiers need to die for Ukraine.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Well, that's disgusting.
It's one of the biggest money laundering operations humanity's ever seen.
You know how many people on Twitter with this whole Iran thing that run their mouth? I've said, hey man, listen, if you think it's so great, then I'll tell you what. Get a fucking plane ticket, fly over to Tehran, get a gun, and get on the front lines with you and your kids. So the kids here don't have to die for shit that you believe in. How's that? Oh, you don't want to do that? It's kind of like, it's like the people out in the streets saying that, oh, you should just let every immigrant in. Just let them all in. Everybody's great. How many people do you think did they move into their fucking house in the spare room? 0 fucking people they moved in. Because those people out there with the fucking signs, they live in neighborhoods that aren't affected by any of this shit. But once it like creeps into their neighborhood, they're wait, I think we have to have a conversation. Oh, now you want to have the conversation. Oh, now you want to have it. Isn't that interesting? It was like the Martha's Vineyard shit. When I think it was DeSantis sent illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard and they kicked them out like within a day.
Yep.
And it's like, wait, I thought it was so great. Right? And I'm not saying that nobody should become American citizens. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a process here. Yes. You don't just walk in. And not only that, you don't just walk in and start demanding shit. You need to give me. No. You need to bring something to the table. You don't just show up a piece of garbage and say, oh, you got to take care of me. Yeah, based on what? Like, what are you talking about? Every other country in this world has borders and they enforce them. Well, it used to be that way. Now there's other countries in Europe that don't give a shit either. But nobody had a problem with those countries. Nobody said, oh, Japan, they don't let anybody in. They're pieces of shit. Nobody even said anything to Japan. But somehow the United States, the French give them the fucking Statue of Liberty. Now everybody's got to be taken in. Fuck you. Like,
oh no, like that they want their statue back too.
Oh, then take it. Who cares? Like, who gives a shit anymore?
They're like, it doesn't represent freedom no more, so we want it back.
There's a company in France, actually. I believe it's the last big forging company there. And they said, we'll build you an even bigger and better Statue of Liberty. And they said they would build it and deliver it for free and everything.
Oh my God! Enough of it. It's just enough.
And that plaque, by the way, about give us your unwashed masses or whatever, that wasn't installed when the Statue of Liberty was built, and it was
aftermarket.
Yeah,
aftermarket supply. It's like there's only so many resources, right? Anybody who's watched The Walking Dead, right? There was that. I forget the name of that town they were in at one point, right? It had walls, and it was like a suburban neighborhood, but they had walls, right? And you're not going to just, anybody knocks on that wall, you're not going to just let them in, right? You got to know, is he a piece of shit? Is he not a piece of shit? Can he offer something? Is he a mechanic? Can he farm? Can he hunt? Is he good with guns? Right? You want to know that either. Is he going to add something to this community that's going to help us? Because if not, he's just going to eat our shit.
No, you know what I mean? Is like, not only that, is like, is he not terrorist? I mean,
right. No, that's what I'm saying. Is he a good person or not? Is he going to just come in here and take the place over and start shooting people? You're going to ask those questions naturally. It's not like how dare you ask these questions? No, that's what you're going to do. If somebody knocks on your front door of your house, you don't just let them walk in. If you don't know them, you're not going to just let them walk in your house. Oh yeah, stay here, no problem. Nobody's going to ever do that. It's like if you had a house party, right, and your best friend is coming to your house party, and he shows up with like 4 people that you never even seen before in your life, and they just show up to your house at this party that you invited your best friend at, and they just start eating your food. You're not going to at least have a problem with that? You're not going to say, who the fuck are these people? Why are they in my house? Like, why are we pretending like that's bad? Everybody would do that. But now, since it's on the border and the border's not in my town, I get to say, no, these people are great people. So I get to enjoy the social credit of pretending that I'm so magnanimous that I feel like we're all one big family. But if it was at their front fucking door, it would be a whole different story. And that's what's going on right now. That's like what this is real shit, right? Everybody's got a lot of shit to say about it. If you had to go there, are you going? No, you're not going. So sit there and just shut up. Like, seriously, just shut up.
It is interesting, though. I mean, like, watching what's going on, like, they even have live stream when, like, it seems they only tack at night. Like, hold on, wouldn't they be more prepared now since Iran would tack at night?
No, because they've had their supplies depleted, so they don't have as many missiles for their anti-missile strategies as before. The Iranians are overwhelming them with the amount of missiles they're shooting over.
I just love, like, I see like a lot of Israel. It's Twitter. I call it Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter. I don't give a shit if they call it X. It's Twitter. But a lot of pro-Israel accounts, like, really talking shit about Americans and America, like we have to like drop everything what we're doing and support this shit. It's like, hey, just so you know, your healthcare system, all the things you enjoy, we pay for that lifestyle. Not you, we do. We give you $6 billion a year to cover protecting yourself and having fucking lattes in Tel Aviv. That's us. That's me working every fuck day, paying taxes is going to you. So how about you shut the fuck up and you go over there? Do something for once for yourself. You want the fight? Go have the fight. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Go have it. Go have it.
Why do we have to be the world's police? Like,
and the world's bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because of money. I mean, that's all that gets into the whole corporation shit.
Guys, I knew the corruption in America was bad, but once the U.S. aid stuff started coming out, and I started to, like, I lost track of the tally of how many. Yeah. Imagine the lives that you guys could both be living. Yeah. If all those trillions weren't wasted on all these programs outside of America on people that hate America, that undermines America. You guys could be living one of the most prosperous lives on the planet.
Well, that's why when the topic of Social Security comes up in the United States, right? They say, well, it's insolvent, it's going to go bankrupt, and that's true. Right. And it is kind of a pyramid scheme, right? Because right now I'm working and I'm paying the Social Security benefits for the people that have retired now. That's how that works. They didn't pay into their own shit. I'm paying for them. And then when I retire, the generation under me, they pay for, how it's set up, right? That's kind of how it had it to be set up, because when it was formed, they were like, all right, the people now that are retired, you're going to pay them. It wasn't like a big bank account, right? But they say, well, it's going to go bankrupt. Yeah, it is. But 15, 20 years ago, it had a $4 trillion surplus, and you stole it and you borrowed it. For what? You didn't even tell us what you borrowed it for. You said, we'll pay you back. You never paid it back, because right away after you took it, you said, we got to get rid of it. It's insolvent. Yeah, you stole the money. Of course it's insolvent, dickhead. You just took the money. And not only that, it was supposed to be, that money was invested into somewhere, whether it's gold or stocks. I don't even know where. It was invested like a pension plan would be. It was invested in a lot of shit. But when you scoop out the principal, what is it? What's making money? Nothing's making money. So they stole the money. They probably used it for war. It's usually what they use shit for in the United States, right? So really, like I said before, like how politicians always need problems to exist because they always have to be your savior to save you from the problems that they probably caused, right? So that's the whole game. Same thing with war, right? They're not interested in the Middle East being like working. They want it to be a shit show. They want it to be shit. And like, I love the people that act as if like, oh, listen, we'll just go in and we'll take the Ayatollah out and then we'll install the Shah's son. And it's going to be like the end of fucking Lord of the Rings. Like Aragorn's going to rule and everything's great. It's like, no, that's how the fucking world works. There's just like Iraq. Iraq had 5 factions in there, right? The Sunnis were in charge under Saddam Hussein. He was Sunni, right? But he ran a secular government. So in other words, he didn't say, oh, we're just going to live under Sunni rule. We're going to, everybody comes over here. If you're Christian to come over here, the rules aren't Sunni rules.
There was even a big population of Jews in
right, exactly. Iraq. So we kicked Saddam Hussein out. There was more Shia in Iraq. The Shia took over, installed Sharia law, and became ISIS, and we wouldn't leave. So then all of a sudden now we have beef with ISIS, and now we have to have the surge. Remember the surge? That was what the surge was about. But can I tell you something? What I just illustrated for you, that wasn't a mistake. That wasn't a miscalculation by the fucking Pentagon. They knew exactly what the fuck was going to happen. And they're like, oh, just listen, we just have to figure out a way to just keep just fanning the flames. Just keep fanning them. And then the best part is that they wanted Syria out, right? So Syria, they tried to get Assad. Assad, I think it was Assad. Yeah. He was the leader of Syria. Sure. They were trying to kick his ass out. ISIS wanted to kick his ass out. So what does Obama do? He arms ISIS and Al Qaeda to kick Assad out. Now Assad is kicked out, and the leader of Syria is Al Qaeda. And we have Trump sitting there shaking the hand with an Al Qaeda leader. Like after you told me that Al Qaeda brought the Twin Towers down and Building 7 and bombed the Pentagon, now we're like patting each other on the back 25 fucking years later. Like it really is fucking wild. But and they're just taking your money. They're just siphoning the money. Like every day you go to work, right? Every day you give taxes, and they're just sucking the money dry. And I know like they like to pretend it's like, oh, it's the Democrats. Oh, it's the Republicans. Do you see how fast congressional Republicans were like, oh yeah, Doge is great. And when it came time to vote on that shit, they were like, yeah, okay, whatever. We don't give a shit. We're still making money. Go fuck yourself. They weren't expecting to do any real cuts. As soon as I saw that Elon Musk wasn't going anywhere near the Pentagon, I said, they're not serious about this. Because if you want to talk about waste and abuse, there's nothing that goes anywhere. That's like the hornet's nest of waste and abuse. Like they're paying $500 for hammers and shit. Like it's fucking ridiculous. Oh yeah, if you cut the waste in the Pentagon, you would probably cut the defense spending in half just from the waste, just from overspending on nonsense. They're paying like $100 for a roll of toilet paper. It's ridiculous. You know why? Because it's a blank check. That's why. It's just a blank check. They don't go, oh well, you want me to pay $100 for a roll of toilet paper. But, I can't afford that. No, it's not like that. Like, well, we don't give a shit. We're just going to print more money. What does it matter? Yeah. And the bank sends the money, which is the Federal Reserve. The bank prints the money with an interest rate attached. And then guess who has to pay the interest rate? We do. So, I mean, that's the game. That is the game. And that's always been the game. And here's the other thing. I'm kind of like, if you ask me today, I'm like black-pilled. Like I've had it. I've just had it now. Because it's like, even if some guy in a third party who's amazing rises up and somehow sneaks in, right, and becomes president, even if they don't kill him, which they probably would, how is this one guy gonna take on the Congress, the House, the Senate, and the judicial branch, and all corrupt. How is he gonna change that? How? You can't change it. You couldn't do that if you made me the manager of a shit McDonald's and everybody was an asshole there. How am I going to fix that overnight? And that's just a McDonald's.
I've got an answer. Weimar problems require Weimar solutions.
Listen. You need. I mean, it's a very. Even if that's the other thing. Even if there's a revolution, right? You scoop everything out. Now you got to start all over again, right? And then the problem is that human nature is when you give people power, they become pieces of shit. I mean, it's basically what the Lord of the Rings is about, right? Like the humans couldn't handle the fucking ring, so they had to give it to a hobbit, and in the end, the hobbit couldn't even handle the fucking ring, right? He had to get his fucking finger bitten off by Gollum.
Well.
Casey, are you happy you brought me on and I ruined your fucking weekend? Your fucking weekend.
You're giving them black pills via suppository.
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if we didn't do this, I probably would still be asleep right now.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, like. Well, that's kind of true, but I did get up about like 8:30ish my time because I was like, we're planning to start soon. So I was like, I didn't want to go back to bed. But like, it's one of those days that I wake up early and then like, I'll eventually probably will crash. But a lot of times I like to sleep to 12 or 1 o'clock my time. So, but no, I always enjoy, especially talking with you, Filthy, and Dave. Like, I would not lie. It's definitely a touchy subject. I don't. I think it'd be. I'm sure it's probably okay on Facebook. You have to be careful on YouTube because if you say the certain wrong thing, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna take you down for misinformation."
Well, it's all right. I used to get into arguments a lot, like 2007, 2008 about 9/11 all the time, right? All the time. I was a piece of garbage because I questioned that if it really happened, whatever. I don't even do that anymore. Right? I don't even involve myself with that. I just say, listen, what came out of it, right? Everything that came out of 9/11 is bullshit. Afghanistan war, bullshit. The Iraq war, bullshit. The Patriot Act, bullshit. Everything that came, the TSA in airports is bullshit. Everything that came out of it, we all agree, it's not Democrat or Republican. Everybody agrees is bullshit, right? But if I question the actual thing that happened, it's not bullshit. Everything that came out of it was bullshit and ready to go. But the actual thing happened exactly the way they said. It happened exactly the way. Oh, yeah. A plane turned into a fireball, brought down a giant steel-structured building, but the passport of the main, by the way, not just a terrorist, the terrorist, right? Muhammad Atta. Everybody knows that name, right? The terrorist. His passport gets through a fireball that hits the Twin Towers and then lands perfectly in the street. And, oh, look we found it. As if it's like somebody's fucking coin purse in the fucking street. Like, what? Like, really? Are you serious? We're going to fall for that?
I mean, that is weird when it becomes in the fireball. How did that survive? Like,
exactly.
Even let's say it's laminated. Like, that still melt.
Casey, the black boxes in all 4 planes are gone. They're gone. They were destroyed. Well, that's what they say they were. They were destroyed, right? Well, the one in Flight 93 in Shanksville, the 2 that hit the towers, and the one hit the Pentagon. All 4 of them vaporized. That's what they said. They didn't get destroyed. They got vaporized, which is a very
even though they're engineered to not be vaporized.
Which is by the way, that's a specific term, vaporized, because it doesn't mean that it melted. It means it turned to fucking vapor. That's what that means. It went from an indestructible black box to floating in the air like it's a muggy day. And everybody accepted that shit. Yeah,
That's
exactly. Exactly. It's exactly impossible.
I'm like, it's made to survive crashes. So it's like,
yeah.
If anyone has those black box, it's actually going to be the government. Like, it's not gonna, unless someone walks out with it. It's like, and I'm sure if the government probably could locate. It's like, oh, this guy over here, Bob, has the black box for this one. But
listen, at the very least, we look the other way and let it happen. And then when you say that to somebody, they say, "Peeps, nobody would be able to be capable of that." I'm like, "Why do you say that? Because you're not capable of it?" I said, "Okay." I said, "You do admit there was a person that existed named Adolf Hitler, right? Okay, you know he existed, right? What did he do? He exterminated people at concentration camps. You know that? You agree with that? Yes, that's okay. So you know there was a person, Hitler, that existed, exterminated all those Jews, and you know that the person that was going against him, Stalin, exterminated even more people, right? And he was on our side. So you know those both exist. So you know humans like that exist. So why in this now fantasy realm that you've created for yourself that people can't exist that can look the other way and watch 2 buildings come down and kill 3,000 people just to start wars? Why doesn't that exist?
What do you mean, Filthy? I mean, like the government's main interest is to protect its people, isn't it? I mean, the government wouldn't do something like that. The government wouldn't lie to us.
Of course.
Well, it kind of reminds me, kind of like ties in with the Chris Benoit thing. We were having a bunch of conspiracy theories, ideas what really happened, and for me, I feel like we heard. I think that's truly what it is. I think Benoit did just snapped and killed his wife on Friday,
right?
Kid on Saturday, and himself on Sunday. I believe Dave is one of the people who believes there was a hostage situation. But I'm like, that's really, I mean, that's kind of hard to pull off. Like, that's like, hey, Chris, like you're holding them hostage. It's like, all right, so Chris, what I'm going to need you to do, so I don't leave any fingerprints, I need you to strangle your wife now on Friday. And then Saturday, the next day, we'll work out about what we're going to do with your son. And then Monday is that we're going to figure out how we're going to hang you with your exercise equipment.
All right, but but hold on a second. Now, again, I don't know about this theory you speak of, right? I don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing it, right?
Really?
But let me put it to you this way. What you just said, he strangled this person this day, he strangled that person that day, he strangled all that stuff. It's in the report, the coroner's report. Right?
Yeah.
How many people would you need to corrupt for that report to read whatever the fuck you want it to read? One.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's it. One. That's all.
Are you talking about Chris?
No. The coroner that wrote the report that this person died on this day, this person died on the other day. You know what I mean? Like, how much money do you think it would take?
Look at JFK's. Look at JFK's autopsy.
Well, it's so fun. It's funny you bring that up because whenever I argue with people about some shit, they mostly go to this. You know how many people it would take to keep that secret? And it's like,
yeah,
you can't keep secrets like that. I said, hold on a second. I said, there's this thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're called the CIA, right? And their whole fucking existence is based on secrets. I said, go look at the symbol of the CIA. Did you ever notice anything about the symbol of the CIA? Oh, look, the eagle's hiding its wings. It's just the eagle's head. Because it's hiding shit in the symbol. right? And that's not. I'm not saying I know some shit nobody else knows. You can go out and see it, right? The other thing is classified documents, right? They come in 3 forms: classified, secret, and top secret. The fucking word secret is in the fucking name. So why are you saying to me you can't keep secrets when we do it all the fucking time?
In fact, Manhattan Project was a big deal, and nobody knew about it.
You can't keep secrets. Why? Why can't you? Here, this is the secret, and if you tell it, we kill everybody.
And on top of that, people don't understand the most basic of things, especially when it comes to the military. Is it's called compartmentalization, where you're on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know, why am I editing this photo to take out this certain object? Don't worry about it. That's my job. And then that picture gets published. It's like, look, weapons of mass destruction.
Listen, the day before 9/11 happened, everybody knows that Rumsfeld said that $3 trillion was missing from the Pentagon, right? So you would ask yourself, well, if they wanted to keep, if 9/11 was an inside job, or if it wasn't an inside job that we just kind of looked the other way, how many people would be involved in keeping that secret, right? I don't know. I mean, you just speculate, but let's say it's 100, right? Over 100, how much money can you give each person in 100 people if you use $3 trillion? What is it, like 30 billion each?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right. So, and the thing with throwing around numbers, that's a lot of money. 30 billion fucking dollars. $1 billion is a crazy amount of money. But we throw those numbers around so often that they don't sound big, right? Trillion. We hear trillion all the time. I heard something recently that was like, holy shit, but it's true. If you put it in seconds, right? 1 million seconds ago is about 10 days ago, which is not that far ago. Right. 1 billion seconds ago puts you in 1993.
No shit.
1 trillion seconds ago puts you at 30,000 BC. Okay?
Wow.
That's how much a fucking trillion is. But we throw. So when 3 trillion fuck dollars goes missing, nothing to see here. Nothing to see. You think you can keep enough people shut the fuck up with that money? I think you can. I think you can.
Yeah, I mean, God, if I get $1 billion, I'm like, I'll be so busy, like, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be doing that. Like,
but you would hope that, like, in your mind, you would hope that if somebody offered you $1 billion to just look the other way, 30,000 people just get or 33,000 people get massacred. You would hope in your heart of hearts that you'd be able to turn that money down, right? But there's a good chance you're not gonna, because $1 billion, $1 billion is not just great money for you; it's generational fuck money.
Yeah, but
it's like your kids and their fucking kids and their kids' friends. And, you know what I mean? Like, and depending on how you invest that fucking money, it could be there forever. You know what I mean? So money can do a lot of things.
For me, it was like, the whole deal, like when people says, oh, would you suck a dick for $1 million? And they're like, no. I guarantee you, someone opens a briefcase and say, hey, here's $20,000. Just do it, and it's yours. And you probably would do it because the money's right there.
Nope.
Like, I think it's possible.
Well, it all depends on, like, 20 grand. What is it like? It depends on the person, right? What that means to someone. 20 grand is not going to change anyone's life. But if you're, let's say you owe the mafia 20 grand, and if you don't give it to them by Monday, they're going to fucking put a bullet in your head. Then you may suck that dick. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely the position you're in, right? That comes into play. Like, I don't have to suck a dick for 20 grand, right? But like when people say to me, like, people say to me, like, you have a lot of willpower because, you can diet and exercise and whatever. And, I can't do that because I wasn't born with that willpower. I said, no. what you just said is bullshit. I said, I'll tell you why. I said, because if somebody came to you and said, listen, either you change your diet and you do more exercise, or we kill your whole fucking family.
Oh shit.
What are you going to do?
Yep.
Are you going to diet and exercise? You're going to. So what does that tell you? It tells you that you just don't want it enough. That's what it is, right? I mean, that's really what it is. There's no motivation for it, right? It's not that you weren't born with willpower. Everybody's got fucking willpower. You know what I mean? It's just what ignites it. Like, what ignited it for me is that I couldn't walk down the fucking street without breathing heavy. That's what ignited it for me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It ignited it for me that addiction was in my family in the form of alcoholism. I don't really care about alcohol. Mine was food. And when my father died, I was like, all right, well, he kind of went in a tailspin when he died. You know, when my grandfather died, my grandmother died, and he went to the bottle. You know, I think as his son, really your goal should be to learn from your parents' mistakes and not make the same fucking mistake. Or you know what I mean? Well, that's the failure. So then I said, okay, so let's just try something else. Do the other thing. Don't be that. Right? So it's not really, oh, you were born with something you don't have. No, that's not true. Going back to what we were talking about before about the chemicals in the food, once you take that food out of your diet, it becomes way easier to not eat that shit. It's like you want to stop doing cocaine? Just stop doing cocaine. Right? That's it. Stop doing it. Right? I still eat food. Right? Before I came out, I ate like 16 ounces of chicken and broccoli and a little mustard on there. It's still food. It's still food, right? But it's food that has nutrients in it. That's the difference, right? If you eat something with nutrients in it, your body takes it and says, hey, look at that. We can use that. But when you eat a fucking Big Mac and it's got almost nothing, no nutrients in it, your body takes it in, it digests it, and then it says, I didn't even get anything out of that. And then you're hungry again. That's why. That's exactly why.
Oh. I wasn't trying to hide my face during that.
No. I'm not saying that shit I'm not saying that shit to hide you, but I'm just saying that anybody out there listening that wants to tell themselves that they don't have willpower, you kind of are powerless in the fact that the cheapest food that you can get is the most unhealthy food you can get.
Yep.
That's true.
So I do recognize all that shit 100%. I mean, definitely 100%.
But thankfully, inflation's actually countering that, because now a fucking Big Mac is $15?
Oh my God, dude. Is it really that? Jesus Christ.
I've seen I remember Ken talking about it maybe a month or two ago where
God.
He was craving it and he just mentioned the price, and I've seen that online as well. But the pricing for fast food now is ridiculous. But then again, you pump up the minimum wage and that'll do it.
Well, like China, the cheap food in China is this healthy food, and the expensive food is the shit food.
Yep.
Costanza says the Big Mac is small.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So you pay more for less?
Well,
yep.
When was the last time you bought a bag of potato chips? Like,
oh my God,
this amount is fucking potato chips, and the rest of the bag's empty.
Yeah, that's pretty
like Girl Scout cookies, fucking Girl Scout cookies. Like I got them a couple years ago, right? I was like, I haven't had Girl Scout. Let me have some Girl. I love tag-alongs. I love Samoas. All that shit is delicious. I get the fucking cookies. They're more expensive, and now there's less cookies. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, if you're going to charge me more, can I at least have the same amount of cookies?
Or more? Or slightly bigger?
Everybody is getting screwed everywhere. It really is. It really, everything you do, like, you're getting screwed. It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, the inflation got real bad, especially when Biden was in play. It just got worse. And honestly, Trump is in office, but it's not got any better.
Well, listen,
actually, it has. I mean, the egg prices went down drastically.
Yeah, there's things that have gotten better, right? But again, here's the thing: is that Trump's a guy, right? Even if he had the best of intentions on even if I agreed with everything he's did, he has the best of intentions on every movie he makes. Again, you're going against an apparatus that was built over decades and decades and decades of corruption, right? To think you're going to come in there on the wings of a fucking eagle and just turn shit over. Let's see.
Coke and Pepsi can't be in the same restaurant. Well, I'm with Filthy. I'm a huge fan of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I like Pepsi, but
well, now that you heard there's
probably-
fetuses in the shit, now it's just now we know.
Oh, now I'm gonna definitely switch over to Pepsi. But I'm like, to me, I feel like it's easier to tell which one is. The taste is kind of close, but Coca-Cola has that. It has that bite though. Like Coca-Cola has.
Well,
that
it's got it's the taste of cocaine.
It's a little bit
That's what
more
that is.
bittersweet, but
It's the flavor of cocaine. That's what that flavor is.
they still sell Mexican Coke, which only has cane sugar as opposed to the fructose crap that they've got everywhere else. And Mexican Coke is fucking incredible.
Yeah, right.
Oh, by the way, I had one of the bottle Cokes, like the glass. So I
Yeah.
thought when I saw the bottle cap, I was like, "Oh, it's probably one of those you twist off."
Nope.
Like I don't drink beer or that often, so I was like, "Oh, like I got nothing to pop the top off this."
Yeah,
So
right.
it's- So one day it's like so I had it in there for a couple weeks. I was like, how am I gonna try to drink this thing? So eventually I think I used a pair of scissors and like went like
Scissors?
that.
Well, it's
Because-
Coca-Cola used to be a dessert. That's what it was. It wasn't something you drank all fucking day. It was
Yep.
something that you would have like after dinner. Like an
Mhm.
after dinner drink is what it was. And then, I mean, I don't know where it happened, where it changed. It changed way before I was born. But and then became we'll drink it every day, all day. Fuck water, drink this.
I grew up where my parents will have a refrigerator, literally a second refrigerator full of soda, but you're only allowed to have one a day. And not gonna lie, sometimes I kind of sneak a second one.
Yeah, well, all right. So let me ask you your opinions on this, because when I was in the movie theater yesterday, my wife wanted a little popcorn, so I was online. I'm looking at the candy, and these are the random thoughts I have, and sometimes I have these random thoughts. I go right on Facebook. I put them out there, and this is my random thought: if you have a choice between Goobers and Raisinets, and you choose Raisinets, go fuck yourself. Seriously. I cannot trust you as a human fuck being if you choose Raisinets over Goobers. Like, how's this? Raisins in general. Like when I hear somebody say, "Oh, I'm gonna have a snack," what are you gonna have? Raisins. You're gonna have what? Shut the fuck up. Like,
Yo, and
are
I
you
just took that
gonna go
personally.
suck a dick afterwards after you have the raisins?
Shut your whole mouth. I love raisins, but
Oh,
that
no way.
covering
That makes
raisins with
total
chocolate
sense.
should be a crime.
No,
I
but that's-
don't understand that.
But right, like you. Listen. Obviously, if you're allergic to peanuts, that changes everything. But that's that, we could that'll take us down a whole other rabbit hole.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I thought for a second, I thought Goobers was the gobstopper deals, but no, I guess they're chocolate covered. Was it peanuts?
Yeah.
I would go for Goobers.
Fucking A, you would go for Goobers.
Well,
Do you
I mean,
do you
I'm
guys have
not concerned-
glossettes there?
What's that?
It's basically peanuts covered in chocolate. It's a specific brand. I guess it's Canadian because there's like from the same company. They've got Raisinets, which is raisins covered with
Right.
chocolate, but they also have the other one, glossettes, which is basically peanuts covered with chocolate. And yeah, that's fucking awesome. So I guess they're like your Goobers.
I was
You know-
more of a in a movie theater for some reason. I always lean towards snow caps.
Really?
I like
I
the
don't know
nice
what those
snow
are.
cap. Snow caps are like little dark chocolate chunks of dark chocolate pieces of chocolate, and then they cover them with those little white. I forget the name. They're like little white sweet little dots. I used to
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what's the candy that was kind of like gummy, but uh, they're like a big box. I'm trying to.
Twizzlers?
No, they're little bites of gummy stuff. I'm trying to think. They're like little cones, like small
Oh,
cones.
what you talking about? You're not talking about candy corn.
No,
Oh.
candy corn's not bad. Ugh. God, I just had some.
Little cones.
Well, they're
Gummy
like
cones?
gum. It's can't think of it immediately. but
Gumdrops.
Is it gumdrops? No, it's something.
Jujubes.
Gumdrop.
Maybe you're talking about jujubes.
Jujubes?
No. That's-
So
No.
not jelly beans either.
No, not jelly beans. Can't, dude. I cannot. God, I just had some recently because at work they would have a candy jar, and I would get a couple. But they have a small
couple of
package,
fistfuls.
but then they would have like the big box of it, and I can't even think that they're like gumdrops like that. I
Mm.
can't think of the name immediately. Of course, I can't think about it, but I would eat those mainly at movie. If it's not popcorn, it's that. But
And meanwhile, the
Nate-
butter on the popcorn is not even really butter.
oh, that's
Yeah.
probably not a shocker.
Yeah, I don't
I
even know
mean-
what it's probably some sort of fucking industrial oil of some sort.
Well, I mean, you hear that like movie theaters would pump the smell of popcorn in the lobby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, you'd be outside the freaking theater and smell it. I'm like, that's intentional, honestly, because
Yeah.
they want to make the money from. But I mean, we're the suckers. I mean, yeah, we bring food from outside, but you smell that good popcorn, and it's hard to say no.
Well, you want to hear about torture? I'll tell you about torture. Fuck waterboarding. I'm gonna tell you what torture is. In like 2000, I was on a diet, right? And right down from literally a half a mile or less from where I worked was the Entenmann's Bakery Factory. You ever have Entenmann's cookies? Did you ever have that?
No.
Oh
No.
my god, dude. Dude, just think of a bakery that's spitting out chocolate chip cookies, cakes,
Ah.
muffins.
I finally looked it up. It's Dots. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. But those are like, aren't those in the zone of like a Mike and Ike?
Nah, I would say they're more like gumdrops, kind of.
I think Ike is a douchebag, to be honest with you, but that's just me.
But it just bothered me. I was like, I had it recently, like because they have a small sample, and it's like it gets stuck in my teeth all the time. But
Yeah.
I loved them.
So it's
But-
perfect for your teeth. It's great for your teeth.
Is it?
That's
I
like
don't
that's
know.
like. Do you ever see that thing where somebody took a tooth, an actual tooth,
Yeah.
and they dropped it in a glass of Coca-Cola, and then by the end of the week, the tooth was gone?
Well, I seen it on MythBusters where it would be coated in Coke, but it was still there. But they put it like in some type of acid. Like it looked clean, but half the tooth was gone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can also clean. I think it's chrome with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's like a great chrome cleaner.
Yeah, and good for like taking corrosion off your car battery. So, like, dude,
Yeah.
talking about I had on my car battery recently, like corrosion was like that tall on the negative side. It was like a mountain of corrosion.
And
I
you
was
pour
like,
some Coca-Cola on it to remedy the situation.
yeah. Well, it it didn't really fizz because I guess the Coke was flat. But I was looking for the fizz, but didn't do that. But man, but no, like I got my ass handed from Dave and Tex last Saturday when we are talking about movie theater.
Right.
Is that I don't know if you ever seen this. McDonald's had this big box. They would put like 4 cheeseburgers and 20-piece chicken nuggets and fries in it. One day I ordered that, and it's not for one sitting. Honestly, I would buy
Ugh.
it and have it from a couple sittings.
But can I tell you something, Casey? I admit, I would back in the day, no problem. I eat that in one sitting. No fucking problem. I'm telling you right now. What did you say? 4 cheeseburgers and a 20-piece McNugget?
Yeah, and fries.
That's pussy shit. I'm telling you right now. That is pussy shit compared to the stuff I would shove in my face. Pussy shit.
But here's the kicker. So one day I got that box. I'm driving on the highway. I look over. It's like I want to go watch a movie theater. Watch a movie, and I knew what movie I wanted to go watch. I don't remember what it was now, but because it's years ago. But I was like, "Fuck! I got this food." But I get Tex and Dave's like, "Why don't you just try to smuggle it into the theater?" I was like, "What am I supposed to put cheeseburgers in my goddamn pocket and
Yeah.
like nuggets?"
100%. What are you talking about? God damn yes.
But I'm like, I don't even think I was wearing a jacket, so it's like, but like I leave it in the car after the movie, and I tell people about that, and I always hear it from Dave and Tex about it, and they always rib me for that.
Listen, I'm already planning on in the end of July, when I fly to San Francisco, because I'm going to Yosemite. So I'm flying into San Francisco and then driving to Reno, Nevada. But anyway.
Nice.
As soon as I land that fucking plane, right, I'm going to get the rent-a-car.
Mm.
And then I'm going to make a fucking beeline to the closest In-N-Out burger and get a 4x4. Do you know what a 4x4 is?
Nah.
We don't have those up here.
It's 4 burger patties and 4 slices of cheese.
Nice.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm telling you right now. 4x4 animal style, right? With a large animal style fry. That's what's going to happen. And I don't give a shit.
Animal style is that sauce they put on it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's sauce, and they cook the burger patty in mustard. Like, in other words, they'll put a little mustard on the grill.
Oh, yeah.
And grill it into the mustard, and grill the mustard into the patty. I didn't notice that until somebody said that. And then I was like, oh, now I kind of noticed that. But you wouldn't even, it's not something that's like very prominent. But goddamn, it's so good. And I don't know if it's so good because it's just not something I can have a lot. It's only on the West Coast. But I love it. I mean, the fries aren't that great, but they're passable. Like if I had to pick, I would probably get an In-N-Out burger and a Five Guys fry.
Yeah.
That's what I would probably do.
At least Five Guys, they would load you up with fries. Like half the bag would be just fries.
Well, that's like we used to have where I grew up, we had a McDonald's and a block away a Burger King. So I would go to Burger King and I would get a double Whopper with cheese because I preferred the Whopper. I was a Whopper guy. And then I would go across the street and get a large McDonald's fry because Burger King fries suck dick.
Yeah, they still do.
Large McDonald's fry with a side of Big Mac sauce to dip in, and that's the way you do it. There was a McDonald's up the corner from me, a different one. after 10 p.m. every single night, 99-cent Big Macs. I would go
Wow.
4 deep. 3-4 Big Macs deep. And this is when the Big Macs are still the size of a Big Mac.
No, you know what? I hadn't had a Big Mac until recently.
Yeah.
And it's because of DoorDash, they would have like every once they would have a deal. Like you buy this so many worth of food and they'll give you a free item. And one time a couple times it was a Big Mac. It's like, okay, you know what's a free item? Let's try it out. I liked it, but like I actually prefer the cheeseburger with was it the bacon cheeseburger better, honestly. It's cheaper and it tastes amazing.
McDonald's bacon's weird. I almost feel like it's not bacon.
Oh no, it tastes great.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't taste good. It just doesn't seem like it's actual bacon.
You know what? Tex sent me a video of what McDonald's nuggets are made out of.
Oh,
It's
forget
like
The
it.
pink slime. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, and it looked. No, pink slime is supposed to be the burger.
No,
No,
was
it's the
It was
nuggets.
the nuggets, but they changed that. They were supposed to change it, I think, after people found out what it was. I haven't had a fucking a nugget. I even before, like, even when I was still like really heavy, like I stopped eating McDonald's once I found out about like what really it was. I can't eat this shit. I just can't do it anymore. Like the McDonald's, Taco Bell, all that shit, I just couldn't eat it anymore. I was like, it tastes delicious. I'm not saying it doesn't taste delicious, but now that I know, I'm like, oh no. And then I remember I only tried. I remember I tried when Taco Bell came out with the Doritos taco. I knew it was going to be not as good as I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't. But that, and then Wendy's had come up with some burger I wanted to try, but that's it. Like I don't eat that shit at all. Like I don't even. Yeah, McDonald's, like a McDonald's Big Mac, I haven't had in over a decade.
You ever tried one of those black burger deals, or was it the black?
No, I know what you're talking about.
buns?
Yeah. No, I never tried that.
I heard once you eat that, you would get like a black shit. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I was
the-
gonna die.
yeah. It's I think they were using, at least in Japan, they're using squid ink.
Yeah,
the color.
right.
In America, I'm sure it's black dye number 72, but yeah, like basically it was a big promotion. I think it was the Star Wars Dark Side burger.
Did you have,
No.
did you ever have squid ink pasta? It's good.
Never had
Yeah.
the opportunity, but I've heard of it.
It's good. I had it in Italy. It's delicious. You gotta like it had like kind of a fishy taste to it, which I don't usually like, but it was still good.
Mustafa says,
Canada Dry.
Right.
That's Canada. You're struggling to pronounce Canada. Canada Dry is amazing. You're smoking crack. In fact, though, Costanza's got a good point. Canada Dry was sued in America because they said it has real ginger taste, real ginger in it, but in fact, there's no ginger.
Yeah,
What
I never thought there was ginger in it.
Well, they call it ginger ale, and
No, I
you
know.
old school ginger ale has ginger in it.
well, there it is.
You know what's funny? I don't think I've ever had ginger. I like real ginger ale. I don't
It's
think I've ever had
delicious.
that.
It's great for digestion and really settles upset stomachs.
The only ginger ale I've ever had is Canada Dry, Seagram's. What the hell is the other
What
one?
about Schweppes?
Schweppes is another one. That's the only ginger ales I've had. Those don't really have they never really had ginger in them, right?
Not really.
Knowledge.
But then again, they weren't advertising like Canada Dry, saying like with real ginger.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had real ginger ale. Like when they used to say, "Oh, it helps you when you're sick. You have an upset stomach." You ought to be drinking Seagram's, so it didn't do shit. Like upset
Oh.
stuff in my dick.
I know one thing. Oh my god! When I had food poisoning from McDonald's,
And you still haven't learned your lesson. Yo, Filthy, this guy will actually buy McDonald's, leave it in his car so it gets cold, go watch a movie, come back and eat that fucking cold McDonald's.
Do you prefer it cold like that?
I would eat. I like it nice and hot,
Right.
and then I do like cold McDonald's.
But you don't
Mine
like
is-
but you don't like
Yield.
what you like better, hot or cold?
I would say hot, but like let's say if I put leftovers in the fridge, I'll eat it cold.
I'm
You
gonna need some
you
ginger ale.
like
My stomach's fucking bothered.
you're like a McDonald's Mormon, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. Do you know that Mormons like to do this thing called soaking?
Oh God.
Which they
No.
bury their dick into a Mormon pussy, and they just sit it there. They don't even move it. They just soak it in that box.
And they need a shaker.
Right. So that's kind of what you're doing. You're doing like a McDonald's soaking. Like you're just laying into that fucking cold. You're letting all those juices just coagulate in the fucking meat.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. When I got that food poisoning the first day, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was dying. I really did because
Oh, it's brutal.
Oh, it's brutal, dude. I was super weak to the point like I couldn't even leave the apartment because like I had trouble walking because I guess dehydration.
Yeah.
But I was to the point. I was like, do I need to call the ambulance?
Well, dude, I had it one time, and I'll never forget when I was throwing up. I could literally feel my stomach almost like pumping itself,
Oh my
like
god!
spasming to try to like push out whatever. I was like, dude, this is weird. It's like doing it on its own. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, dude, I had it for a week and it was horrible.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No, and that's the first time I can ever think about it. It did deter me from McDonald's for at least a month.
At least a month. month. Holy shit.
But I mean,
He's a glutton for punishment.
dude, I seen. I don't know if it's totally McDonald's fault because I seen these YouTube shorts recently where these people who deliver from like DoorDash or Uber Eats, and like there's literally a couple. There was the woman dropping the food off, but the dude that was with her, he had his hand in his pants scratching his balls.
Oh.
So I'm like, even though he didn't touch it there, but like you don't know if he's had his hands on it, and then I seen the episode where someone take a drink of the drink and before they put it down. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I miss Roy Rogers. Do you ever have a Roy Rogers by you?
yeah, I think, yeah,
Roy Rogers was so good. And they still exist, but it's like a handful, and they're in like Virginia.
I think
Hey
we
guys, I
might
got to
have
take
one.
off, but thanks for having me on the show. You guys are doing
Yeah.
a great job, and I can't wait to listen back.
No doubt.
See you,
See you guys.
Dave. Thanks. Oh, I brought this up. I was gonna show this when Dave was around, but we were talking about the wizard. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I can't zoom too much, but if you look at Fred Savage,
Right.
look at his left. Well, on the right side of him,
Right.
but his left hand
Yeah.
is a left-handed power glove. But I mean, the power gloves are right-handed, so people thought, "Oh, there's a left-handed power glove." You know what really happened?
No, I think it's probably like if I the difference between me taking a picture
Yeah.
with my front facing camera versus my other lens is just mirroring the thing.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So
Yeah.
a lot of people saw that as like, "Oh yeah, there's a left-handed power glove," but no, it's like you said, it mirrors it.
Right.
So, like, I'm shocked that they didn't do that. But
Because they knew it was a hunk of shit. They weren't gonna have to worry about people left-handed and shit. People were gonna find out that Christmas that was a hunk of shit.
oh, it was a hunk of shit. Like, it was horrible. like to the point where like they literally put an NES controller on on it. Like,
Right.
hold on. Like, there's a couple times like I would try, and then as I got frustrated, take it off and start playing with the controller. Like, what's the point?
It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
just was a way. Was it like $100? I forget how much it was. What a waste of
Oh,
money. What a waste of money that was. It's funny. I should have kept it though. I mean, it got thrown out at a certain point, but yeah, I was so
you know,
disgusted with it.
I had it for the longest time, and then it disappeared. I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe is when I grew up from moving from one house to the other. Maybe got tossed. If I would have saw it, I wouldn't have tossed it. But luckily, I paid. Like I got one in the box, but I think I paid it for like $65 or 70 in the
Right.
box. But now it's like I wouldn't doubt it. It's probably way more than that. But the box is not in great shape, and it's the large size, not small. But I should try it one day, like do gameplay with that. But I don't know if I can play that on my Retro Freak. Honestly, I don't know if you could. I mean, it comes with a sensor bar.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you can play that with a modern TV. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I don't know. It was a bar. I remember it being like things you put on like the corner of the television.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you could never keep them connected in that bar.
Right. It was just
Either.
so stupid.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Oh.
Absolutely terrible. And it's and you would just start playing it with the actual D-pad on the arm. It's like, well, what's the point of this shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it only did good on the couple games it was made for, like the glove ball game. I never
Yeah.
tried that, but I might should try that. But
Well, it's like I
oh
loved the Xbox Connect when it first came out.
yeah.
And then I just like I was like, all right, I'm done with it.
Originally when that came out, my wife, she was saying, I want to get the Kinect. It was like, oh, I mean, we had the 360, but I was like, we didn't have the Wii. We, so I was like, I mean, to me, I was like, it seems so gimmicky. And it was like,
Right.
let's just get the Wii. And I felt like it was a better choice because even though the Wii had some crap titles, it actually had some good titles as well.
Well, you had Nintendo games that were going to come out for it. So I mean, you've fallen back on that at least, right?
Yeah. But I have I believe I have a Kinect in box. I know I had the Kinect for the Xbox One. But yeah, I mean, it was not really that. It was just it was innovative, but it was too ahead of its time that it wasn't ready.
Yeah,
That
and then
with
they
the
tried to do 2.0 and then
yeah,
that helped sync Xbox One.
and with people was upset with Xbox One, like they're like, what? I thought the same thing for a while, where there was like, oh, it's a camera, they're watching you. For a while, it bothered me. Then I'm like, hold on, I'm not doing anything illegal. Like, if they want
Right.
to watch me jerk off, and like, hey, have fun watching me jerk off.
You know what was awesome? That when they used it in that Paranormal Activity movie.
Oh shit, was it in there?
Yeah, it was I think it might have been Paranormal Activity 3. I think it's the third one or the fourth one. It's 3 or 4. Where so the way the Kinect worked is that there was like a bunch of lasers that would kind of you couldn't see them, but there was a bunch
Yeah.
of lasers that would shoot out, and then it would just as your hand is coming through it, it would
Mhm.
know, it would sensor that's coming, and then it would obviously translate to gameplay. But in Paranormal Activity 3, they had like night vision that would pick up the lasers. So you saw all the lasers going across the room, and then all of a sudden you would just see this ghost, this apparition cross across the lasers. You're like, oh shit. It was a cool. I'm like, wow, that's really awesome.
I don't remember that, and I seen all of them, unless there's a new one. But
It was
like,
3 or 4. I remember being 3 or 4. I haven't seen him forever, but 3 or 4. If you want to see a really cool found footage movie that nobody talks about, there's a movie called Willow Creek. It's directed by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh, shit.
And it's a found footage movie having to do with Bigfoot. It's awesome. It's awesome. I loved it. Highly recommend.
Let me say hi to AJ Harrison. We had him on last week on Saturday as Raw. When we were talking about the Benoit situation, he brought up a bunch of good points. But he jumped in with the crew pretty nicely because at first he was all nice, and then he was like, eventually he saw what Tex and Dave would do to me,
Right?
And the other guys, and he's like, and then he starts taking shots at me. It's like I love how the new dude that we never talked to before is already shitting on me. But like, it was all in good fun. But like, if I was offended, I would kick the guy off. But like, it was all in fun. But I still don't remember that, dude. I was kind of a little upset with watching the first Paranormal Activity because like I was preparing myself for jump scares, but it would be like, oh, this door closed.
No, but the creepy part of that movie was when she gets out of bed and she walks to the other side of the bed, right? And she just stands there, and then you see it fast forward like 6 or 7 hours, and you just see her body just standing there. I'm like, ooh, that's fucking creepy. I'm like, oh, that's weird. That's fucking weird. Holy shit.
I wonder how long that really is. As they make it look like she.
Oh yeah, she definitely wasn't standing there for hours.
It was like, hey, just stand there for 5 minutes, and we're gonna put scan lines or fast forwarding it.
I remember I got into an argument with Ken years ago when Blair Witch Project was coming out into the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, it's like a true story. It's really happened. I'm like, didn't really happen. What are you talking about? And he goes, no, it really happened. I saw a documentary. This is like real footage. I'm like, I'm like, bullshit. It's not real footage. He's like, dude, he's like, you're an asshole. I just saw it on TV. I said, what channel was it on? He goes, the Sci-Fi Channel. I said, did you just hear what you just said to me? Did you hear what you just fucking said?
No, I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like. It was real, like the whole thing with the Blair Witch Project. I never watched that, though.
You never saw that movie?
No.
It's fun. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's fine. I mean, it started that whole genre, so you got to give it that, right? I just saw the trailer for the new Conjuring movie in the 28 years later. Oh, by the way, I want to say this because actually I have to go in a little while, but
okay,
dude, this is because I timed it. So the movie last night was 8:00. The movie did not start until 8:30.
What?
Yeah, that's how many trailers were before the movie. And by the way, which is even more annoying, 3 times they had to mention that you're at an AMC theater and come see movies at an AMC theater. This is what AMC theater has. And it's like, dude, I'm here already. What are you trying to get me to do? I'm here. Why do you have to tell me 3 fucking times? It's like they tell you about AMC, Then they play a trailer. They tell about AMC again. Then they play a trailer, and my wife laughs at me because I'm like, and now we're gonna see right before the movie the AMC fuck with the Leatherface fucking what's her name, Nicole Kidman Leatherface, because that's what she she's fucking, her plastic surgery is ridiculous at this point. But she comes on AMC. It's like, what are you trying to sell? Like, I don't understand. I'm here. You got my money. Like, if you're trying to push concession, like, go have a Coke, or go have I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm in the movie theater. Why did you tell me 3 times you're an AMC? I know.
Yeah,
So stupid.
that is really stupid.
I always thought it was the dumbest thing that Coca-Cola would spend $50 million for a Super Bowl ad. It's like, can I ask you a question? Who the fuck doesn't know about Coca-Cola? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do I need a Coca-Cola commercial during the Super Bowl? Go, you know what? I think I should have a Coke. Like, you've already done it. So your Coca-Cola, like they use other, like, this is the Coca-Cola of this industry. Like, they use the name to describe like iconic other industries. Like, you made it.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up already. Like, we get it. Like, if you want a Coke, you're gonna go have one. You don't need the commercial.
Give it time, they'll be pushing clothes on and shoes. I guess it was he talking about the at the movies?
Yeah, it's over the top now, dude. There had to be 8 trailers. At least. There had to be at least 8 movie trailers in that goddamn movie. And it's like, dude, I used to look forward to the trailers. Now it's torturous. It's hard. Like, come on, dude. I came here for an 8:00 movie, and the movie's not starting until 8:30. That's ridiculous.
I don't mind the trailers because sometimes it'll be something like, I don't actively like, oh, I'm gonna see what movies are coming out through trailers.
Right.
So like, if I like, oh, the next Marvel movie that I had no idea it was coming out, like, but like, it's like you said, you're at the theater and they're promoting themselves. I'm like, you're like you said, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's like, I'm here. Like, what is the point of this?
Yeah, it's like you're on the WWE network or Peacock and they're promoting it. So like, we're watching it.
So
I'm
stupid.
like, it's stupid because it's like, I like the trailers, but that is stupid. And not only that, where you have to hear, oh, be quiet or turn your cell phone off. They'll have to do it like several times because,
Well, they did it this time. They used Megan 2.0 to do it. You know, like that horror movie with the robot.
oh,
She's like, you over there. Are you gonna make me come down there? Like, okay, we get it. All right. Okay, let's just come on. Let's go. Come on, let's go already. You know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid. All right, I gotta go, Casey.
Jay, you
I love doing this. I love talking shit. It's so funny because, like, a lot of times, like, there's very limited amount of video game talk, and we just go on tangents about all kinds of shit.
Well, that's why this one, like, I kind of want to try to sneak in some Chris Benoit talk.
Oh yeah,
but it was like, you know what? It's like how I said, I wanted this time to go live and really
Right.
just shoot the shit.
Yeah, no, I think I like that better, right?
I-
That's how
I like it.
conversations go.
Yeah, it's like where we don't have to oh, we're supposed to talk about this. So it's like we just can just shoot the shit and have great conversation. And like, I love it. Like, I can't wait for the next time we do it.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'll
All
be in
right.
touch with you. I'll let you know.
Alrighty.
All right,
So,
man.
Thanks for coming on, man.
No problem. Everybody watching, go fuck yourselves.
See you, filthy. So, that was Saturday morning is Filthy and Rob podcast. We'll try to do that more often. I was talking about that. AJ Harrison says Xbox or PlayStation. For me, I'm more a PlayStation guy. If minus Nintendo, I'm a Nintendo guy front and forward first. then I'm the Sega guy, Atari guy. I'm retro. But as modern, after after Nintendo, it's PlayStation. See, because recently I had I had an Xbox Series X. Then I was like, I don't use it, and I needed some money, so I was like, I have an Xbox One. I only used the Xbox Series X once, and I had Rare Replay in it. So I was like, I need the money more than like, and I played the PlayStation 5 and the Switch and my Retro Freak more often. So I was like if anything, I'll play the GIMP version on Xbox One for right now. So, and there's nothing really. The only good thing with Xbox is Game Pass. That's how I feel about that. So, I'm not sure we'll probably do Saturday's Raw. I'm gonna probably try to do some editing on my next gameplay. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. So maybe when we get Saturday morning is Filthy and Raw, maybe that'll take in place of Saturday is Raw for that day. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Who's all up to do anything. Maybe I'll go live playing gameplay. I don't know. But I do appreciate everyone coming by. It was a fun show. I It was always a pleasure with Filthy Mouth Gamer. Like that dude, that's why honestly I offered say, hey, I would love to do this more often. So hopefully we do. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing some editing. When are you and the boys going live again? Usually I go live on Saturdays. Saturday at 8 Central. But I'm not 100% sure. There's really not much to talk about. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I might go play some gameplay later on. I don't know. Um, I have a couple ideas, but I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll see. If not, I'll try to do gameplay. So we'll see. So I appreciate everyone coming in the chat, and I appreciate Filthy and Devious Dave Rose. So for those guys, my name is Casey is Raw. I appreciate you guys coming to that debut edition of Saturday morning is Filthy and Raw. So until then, you guys have a good day, and I'm out.